Missing the Point? It's a comedy podcast asking the important question: are we missing the point? Are you missing the point? Or is the whole damn world missing the point? My name is Brian,
This is Ruth.
and uh, I've been watching that new Alien show. Have you
Oh, I
watched?
haven't started that one yet. Do you like it?
I mean, there's like a lot of people on the internet that are going to be real unhappy with me about this, but I'm like not really feeling it. I'm just
You're
not.
not feeling it?
No, I
Oh, this is
mean,
distressing news.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Like it's this is the problem with everything becoming a universe at this point. I feel like, right, which is that when you I mean, we all saw this with Star Wars. Like it used to be that there were 3 Star Wars movies and then there were 6 and we were all like that's pretty cool. And then now there's like a bajillion things and so you like when you're, from the old guard, you always have expectations or something. And like I usually temper those down, but I don't know, something about it isn't landing for me. And I think the thing I'm
Hmm.
realizing is that I kind of feel like, and it's just me, but I kind of feel like Alien doesn't really like need like a universe in the respect of like obviously already has one. This, the
I was gonna say, like, there is an alien universe.
yeah, but like I guess I feel like we don't need one maybe that focuses on, this sounds weird, the human experience as much. That
Oh,
maybe
that's
that's
funny.
and maybe that's my thing about it, which I think is like a cool thing that has been happening ish in the writing of it, but at the same time I'm like, I mean, like
Is it being whiny? Like, what's the deal? Like, what's the problem with the plot or the
no,
writing?
I mean, it's approaching the whole transhumanism thing in an interesting way. It's the, the whole Blade Runner idea.
Oh, because they're little kids that got. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay. I
exactly.
forgot. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And
Got it.
sometimes that's I think actually that is, it's interesting you bring that part up, and like spoiler alert, I don't know everybody, sorry. But that maybe that's the thing that's kind of getting me is like I thought that that was kind of a cool approach, and it feels like the whole being a child thing is like only reserved for some characters, and others is just like, I mean, yeah, like whatever, they were a kid and now they're in like a fucking cyborg body and like whatever. And so that kind of, I think that maybe is what is
Hmm.
throwing me off. Like I definitely get the part of it that we've all seen in Alien for years and years, which is evil corporations ruling the universe and then wanting,
Wayland, baby.
exactly, right. And it's kind of cool
Oh,
to see a little bit of the early Wayland Utani stuff happening. Like I'm kind of digging that. But that is where it falls a little short for me, is on the some of the character part of things, which is like, okay, I
hmm.
mean, you could play with this a little bit more, I think. And I don't know, maybe it'll finish up good. I love Timothy Oliphant. He's awesome. That guy is a badass.
He's on my hall pass list.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah, this has been discussed at this household. Uh,
I respect that. I do.
I
Yeah, I
yeah,
respect that.
I can't lie about it at all. He,
Hey,
yeah,
listen,
it's done.
that's a good hall
Deadwood
pass.
changed my life.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah,
him and Swearingen. Listen,
yeah.
I I cannot say anything any further.
Weak in the knees. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, like, same. I mean, I'm in the words of Bob Belcher, I'm mostly straight. I mean, like
But
mostly
he's
straight.
hot
But
and
he's,
he's
yeah.
funny
I
and
I
he's
I always think of
talented.
his brief role in The Office when he when he comes in as what's his name? Danny Danny Cordray in The Office, and he's like the hot shot, you know, salesman on the road and everything for the other company, and Michael wants to get him, but first they try to like learn all of his secret tactics, and he's like, I don't have any
That's
secrets,
hilarious.
I'm a good salesman. Like, and then he goes in the office and all the women in the office are just like glued to him, and I'm like, I mean,
Hello.
yeah, like come on.
Hello.
and he's all silver foxed out in Alien Earth, which
Oh my
is
gosh, I know. I just saw him on
pretty
TV the
good.
other day, and his hair is, like, just
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
everyone. Nobody's guessed our age yet, but I am old enough to find a fine man in gray hair to be incredibly attractive.
yeah. There you go. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
zaddies and silver foxes, around the curve right before I got to be the age that I am, started making, like, way more sense.
Unknown age that you are to our listeners.
It's a mystery. If I may recommend an early, Timothy Olyphant movie, A Perfect Getaway is
Okay, I've heard of that, but I have not
it's
seen it.
good. It
Yeah.
is
Okay.
from 2009, and it's categorized as a horror/adventure movie. It's an hour and 38 minutes long. It's
Okay.
got Jovovich in it, and it is,
Oh, really? Okay.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
that's pretty great.
and it's got
Okay.
Steve Zahn in it too,
Oh,
also a
hell
perennial fa
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Uh,
I love seeing Steve Zahn continue to get work because
I know, it's
that
so good.
guy, he's one of those guys who deserve to be able to continue on, I feel like, and like
Agreed.
after
Yeah.
the little like late 90s, early 2000s boom of which he was a part. So okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, A Perfect Getaway. I highly recommend it. It's, it's a fun little journey,
I'm
and it's
I'm I'm super down.
adorable.
Okay. That's pretty
And, I
great.
mean, Timothy Olyphant, as you were saying, is so he's in Alien Earth.
He is, and he is, like by far pretty much my favorite overall. And I mean, I'm 5 episodes in. Hulu is doing that thing where they release one a week, which like fine, whatever. And
Yeah,
I guess
totally.
it's this weird bias thing that like is the reason I don't get into fandoms very much. The only fandom I really give a shit about ultimately is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's because it's just, like, I mean, it's my thing.
Oh,
Like, I love
that's
the
funny.
hella the TMNT, and
Oh,
I'm
this
not
is
even really up to date on
hilarious.
everything. I mean, have I ever shown you my Ninja Turtles collection? Like,
No.
okay. I'm just gonna tell everybody here that I have a
Oh,
really big collection of Ninja
this is
Turtles
amazing.
memorabilia, everything. Like, I worked my ass off as a kid in the 90s and the late 80s and the 90s. So figure out how old I am, everybody. Figure it out. You can do it. It's not hard. And I
It's
worked
not that
my
hard.
ass off every every week to save money to buy more Ninja Turtles like figures and stuff. And I remember when I saved enough money to buy the TMNT sewer playset, and I was like, I felt like the most baller kid ever that I went and bought this because I think that thing probably cost like
That is
150 bucks
really
or
fucking
something.
baller though,
Yeah,
to
it
be
was
fair.
like early
That's
90s that I bought it, and I was like, because my dad made me, like, he was like, "No, we won't buy it for you. You have to get the money to do it." And I remember being like, "Okay, like I want it and I'm gonna get it." And I still have it to this day. In addition to all my figures, comics, video games, I still have the Ninja Turtle sheets. They're not on my bed, but I still have them. And if
Can
they
you
were on my
imagine?
bed, I don't care what you all think. You know what? Rock and roll
That's
with
what
whatever
that's
sheets you
what
want.
the OnlyFans is for, Brian.
That's correct. That's right. Again, continuing the thing of things that I would probably do on cam to make money at this point. I mean, how about an OnlyFans where I just talk about my Ninja Turtles collection? Is anybody into that? It's $25 a month, and I
I
will.
think that's marketable for
I
sure.
Yeah. What do y'all think? I would like to see what people would dive in on. But yeah, I mean, I have a big collection. But anyway, that's my thing. That's the reason I don't really get into too deep into a lot of fandoms, because I think at some point or another you're kind of likely to just be kind of a sour bitch boy about it. Yeah, if you're not careful. So I'm trying to not
Yeah,
do that. I'm trying to not be like,
fair.
this isn't whatever. But then again, I'm also the guy who has always been like, I thought Alien Resurrection was awesome, and everybody else on the planet was like, that film sucked. And I was like, first of all, it's directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, so I don't really care what you think. Visually, it's amazing. Second of all, Winona Ryder. come on. Like, come on,
Uh,
everybody. Like, a lot of wins in that film, but as Alien films go, even I admit, like, yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a fun little thing to happen. So maybe that's what I need to just like take my own medicine for with Alien Earth and just let it ride. But
Fair enough.
you know, I remain as relatively neutral as I can. If anything, it just makes a fun MST3K for myself and my partner. We just kind of sit there and say goofy things about it and everything else. So you know, thank you for that, Hulu, and also. Despite the fact that I just talked some smack about one of your properties, we are available for sponsorship, just so you know. So, you know, because I tell you, if there is one streaming service that I will continue to pay for kind of no matter what, it does end up being Hulu, which sometimes I
Huh.
feel a little weird about, but that's the one I use that I will actively use the most. If anything, it's just for Bob's Burgers and Frasier reruns. I mean, I fully admit that, So,
Frasier.
yeah, the
Yeah,
best way
I
to fall asleep with the calming, soothing voice of Kelsey Grammer
that's
from the
hilarious.
90s and the 2000s. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Um,
Yeah, you know.
and I'm coming from the other end, right? As far as the alien universe goes, or AVP if you really want to get into it. Uh I eat
Yes.
that shit with a spoon.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. I really don't. Like how some people are about Godzilla is how I feel about alien shit.
Okay, I
Like all
respect
of
that.
it.
Yeah.
AVP1, AVP2. I watched my ex play AVP, the video game, on the PC long before Steam, and we like
Yes.
turned off all the lights and we did like Resident
Yes.
Evil style. And that shit was scary as fuck. And it was so much fun. I
Yeah.
am highly
Absolutely.
committed. They have a number of comic book runs
Oh, the
based
AVP
on it.
Dark Horse comics and shit are fucking
I
great.
mean,
I mean,
like no brainer style. And so the Topher Grace one
oh right.
was,
Forgot about that.
I
So,
know, right?
yeah, I think we
And
all
don't
sort of
even
might have
get me
collectively forgotten.
it's so
Poor
good.
Topher. Poor Topher.
I know. I'm with you on all of this sentiment here. But that movie, I rewatched it recently. All right, so fine, let's just talk about it. I fall asleep to alien movies. I fall
I
asleep
fall
to
asleep to Ghost Adventures. So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
and
I
not
fall
because
asleep
it's
to
boring,
Predator
because it's
movies.
very soothing, which is so weird
It
because they're always like, it's a fucking ghost. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to sleep now.
called night night. Right on.
So
Glad
you
we
fall
figured
asleep
this
to
out.
alien screeches
Oh
and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And
acid blood.
Predator movie. Oh,
Nice.
I love it. I love to love it. And so when Prometheus came out, the Hubs had purchased this 3D TV. Shout out to Samsung, lifelong fans. I'm staring at a Samsung monitor right now. It's sick
We're
as hell.
available for sponsorship.
All day, every day.
I do love my Samsung phone, Samsung.
Yeah,
So we're here,
100%.
A
We are
3D
here.
TV. Okay, that's legit.
Yeah, so it came with like 4 sets of glasses, and at the time we were still in like the Blu-ray era or whatever.
Right.
And so we had seen Prometheus, and so we bought it on like 3D DVD Blu-ray, sorry, not DVD, my bad.
3
Um
DVD Blu-ray, Blu-ray DV 3D DV,
exactly.
the sequel part 9.
So dumb. And so, but we did it because we were committed, and we watched that movie several times. And then I came to find out that not everybody liked it, and I was so confused. And that's when I started to realize that not everybody loves alien movies as much as I do. Um, so respectfully, I'm going to withhold judgment until I watch Alien Earth, but
I respect
basically I'm
that.
waiting for it
Yeah.
to come out so I can
Just do the whole
watch
thing.
it
Yeah. Smart move. Yeah. That's the way.
continuously in continuum, and then we can pick this up then because
Okay.
I
I like that.
I
Yeah. I mean,
I want to see it. I
that's
want to
the
see
way
where
to
they
do it.
go with it. I
I
love
think
it.
I think it feels weird to me to like see it expanding, wider beyond like every alien film has been sort of a bottle episode in the long run, right? Like it either
Yeah.
takes place in a ship or in a small part of a planet. And now it's like really expanded out because of this. And I don't know, maybe that is what threw me off. And like I
Hmm.
say, I don't hate it. Maybe I'm just not really connected yet. And I think you're doing the right thing. I should have just waited until they were all out
And just rip
because
it, you know, just see the
yeah,
whole thing. We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see. I mean, and listen, not everything has to be like an A plus, right? Like when
No.
AVP 1 came out, I remember seeing that in the theaters and I was like, "Yep, 100%." And then as I wandered out into the world, slightly older than I was when it came out, which is X blank years,
X number of years.
I was surprised that people like hated it. I'm like, it's an underground pyramid beneath like Antarctica, like,
Right.
that's fucking cool, man. And
Right.
everyone's like, "Oh, dude, it was corny, it was cheesy, it was shitty." And I was like, "I again, I'm gonna just, like,
I mean,
disrespectfully disagree because that shit was
yeah.
cool as hell, and I don't mind efforts at world building if the universe is something that people are looking after." I mean, speaking as, a
Right.
writer of fiction and a
Yeah.
world builder and shit,
Yeah.
it's like, I like it when people, like, take the property and they're like, let's fluff it out a little bit, you know? Who knew
Right.
Topher Grace was a fucking killer? Sorry,
Right.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, well,
Um,
listen, deal
yeah,
with it.
it's cool though. It's fun. It's you're creating jobs
Yeah.
at the very least
Right.
here. So
I
I don't
will
know.
say
I
that too, like Ridley Scott is executive producing, which is cool, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, again, one of the biggest travesties on the planet was how Highlander was treated.
Oh my god. Don't even okay. I watched and I watched I believe I growing up watched all of the
I
Highlander
watched them
TV
all.
show.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I
And the
went back
movies.
recently
Oh
and
no.
watched just on a lark one day because it was just on one of these services. I was like, "Oh shit, the Highlander TV show." I was like, "Okay, first of all, you knew that that show was going to be pretty cool because fucking Queen did the theme. That was fucking amazing, right?" And but I watched that first episode and I was like, wow, that I mean, like it wasn't necessarily bad, but it was also like I don't know that this needed to happen, everyone. And
And
then it
here's the
doesn't really wrap
problem.
up cleanly. Yeah, you're right. Highlander got done dirty. Yeah. It
The
deserved it
the
deserved
TV
more.
show.
Especially in the movies that happened near the end. It was like, really? Like we're this is how we're
Oh,
going?
I
No.
yeah. I mean, the show was the best thing that happened to that property.
You're right. In the
Like
long run, it really was because
like at
it
least the
had
show
some
made
pretty great shit in the
sense.
long run. Yeah, that's true.
But after the first movie, that entire intellectual property got just mangled to death. Like I remember
Oh
going
yeah.
back to the last one where the wrestler was in it, and that was literally the best one. But it was already so fucked
Yep.
that it
Yep.
was sad and
Yep.
it didn't make any sense. And people make fun of me
Yep.
for liking Highlander, but as a premise, as a thought exercise, as a piece of science fiction, I'm in, bro. Like
Absolutely.
I want it to be good
Yeah.
because this is a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like, but so
When Christopher
vis-a-vis,
Lambert is like, you know what, I'm not into this
yeah,
anymore. I mean,
I
that's when
mean,
you know that
imagine
it's like,
it's done
okay.
because he was compelling. But here we are. We don't have
Yeah.
Highlander. I mean, at least we still have Alien, and Alien makes sense. And if you ever want or need to play the Alien pinball machine, it's currently sitting at Boxing Bear Bridges in Albuquerque,
Oh
and
shit.
I fucking
Okay.
love that machine. And it's the same sort of thing where people are like, "Oh, this is weird and hard and kind of corny." I'm like, "Oh,
I mean,
it's
if anybody says
Alien."
that Alien or Predator is corny, I'm like, well, I mean, yeah.
Duh.
Have you
That's the whole
watched them?
point.
Did you watch Predator 2? I mean,
Oh my god, the meat lockers.
Yeah.
So
Like, come
funny.
on, everybody. Like, that's kind of the point here in a lot of ways.
That has
Because it
Danny
is also
Glover in
sort of just
it.
point at how ridiculous human beings are, which I did love about Predator and Alien in general. So it was like, oh yeah, human being, we're a ridiculous species sometimes. And that's kind of the
Game
whole
over,
thing.
man. Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
that's
come on, you
it's
know?
all a self-reflection.
Yeah. So
So
like if that's
I'm
your
curious to
issue with it,
see.
it's like, I'm sorry, was it supposed to be
Like, what are you
what
looking
level of
for?
seriousness did you want?
So funny.
Because then if we go deeper everybody into superhero shit, I'm like, I mean, guys, come on, let's like really dig into it then. I mean, superheroes are completely goofball idiots in the long run running around in spandex and shit. And it's entertaining. That's the point.
That's
So
literally the point.
who cares if it's cheesy? Shit. I like it more if it's cheesy. That's why I
It
want to see
also
that
might
new
have some sort of
fucking
social commentary
right.
buried somewhere in there. Maybe,
Right.
I don't know, man. Use your like 11th grade English critical thinking skills on that. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's there.
That's why I want to see the new Toxic Avenger, because that you
Ooh,
want to talk
when's
about
that
some
coming out?
cheesy shit very soon, or maybe already, I believe, at the making of this podcast. And
Is it a
it's
movie or a show?
yeah, it's a film, and it's
Oh,
done in campy trauma style and is supposed to be over the top, and also
into it.
is
Into it.
raising money from the film's ticket sales to pay off people's student loans or medical bills, one or the other, or both, maybe. The filmmakers are doing something that's pretty cool with it, and I'm like, yes, I am here for all of this. Thank you
We
very
should put that
much.
in the Discord so that everybody knows.
Yeah,
That sounds
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah,
Into it.
it's
That was
pretty
one of the
legit.
first movies. That was one of the first movies in the US when I was young and I got here. Like, I happened to see it. That kind of shaped my understanding of American media because there was so much American media that I didn't understand.
Sure.
Like, I saw it and I took it at face value, but like the currency exchange hadn't happened yet. I was too young to
Right.
get it.
Right,
But
sure.
Toxic Avenger for sure and the Elvira movies for sure
Oh
like
man,
started like
yeah.
shaping my early ideas of what y'all thought was funny at the time,
Right.
right? I got
Right.
here in the early 90s as a not teenager yet person. And so I didn't really fucking get American humor at first. I really
And
didn't.
it
It
was
wasn't
pretty fucking weird at that time. I mean, it's still
Thank you.
weird, but the
Okay.
weird was thick. I
Extra
mean,
weird.
it was
Okay,
thick.
right.
It was very
But
thick.
Toxic Avenger definitely kind of like when I saw it, I was like, there's something else going on here. It can't just
Absolutely.
possibly be
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger himself or what
Right.
have you.
Right.
And then sure enough, later I ended up working in a comic book store and like finding out all this like deep hidden lore, in the catacombs of, pop fiction and
Sure.
comic books and funny movies. And I was like, oh, you guys are making commentary
Right.
on
Right.
the state of things at hand.
100%. Yeah.
Got it.
All
Got
the
it. Got
way.
it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Right.
I start to get it more. So yeah, I look forward to this Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Is it a remake or is it a sequel?
I
Like what
I
are they
believe
doing? Like
think
a
it's kind of
rewrite?
I think it's sort of a rewrite. Yeah, I haven't looked into it a whole lot. A good friend of mine, shout out to Angus, um, Angus Line, really good friend of mine, did a lot of the motion graphics for the film, and
Cool.
so I generally will see anything that Angus works on because I am so impressed by him being somebody who got into this industry of film, of making film, and has done this. And he was talking about it recently, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks great. I love some good campy ridiculousness, and I will dive into that all the way. Any super quote unquote superhero who has a bucket as part of his arsenal is pretty awesome if you ask me, like,
Totally.
and all of that stuff, it also, if we're talking about things like the Ninja Turtles and everything, like, it influenced a lot of that for me, which is why I do look at the thing of like saying it's cheesy. I'm like, all of it's cheesy. I mean, if my favorite fandom is four turtles that are ninjas who are called teenagers, who, like, let's face facts, are not going to be teenagers for very long. I mean, come on.
None of
What
us
how
were.
much seriousness should I expect here, everybody?
Right.
So yeah, I'll approach Alien with, with a lighter hearted touch. If anything, at least, I can tune into it for Timothy Oliphant because
Oh my God,
well worth
please.
it. Yes.
100%.
As an
Very
actor
good.
and as a heartthrob,
Silver Fox,
Silver Fox
baby.
heartthrob. Yeah, that's right. But if you're listening, everyone, I would, tune in on the Discord and tell me if I'm full of shit or anything else. I mean, like, let's not argue about it. But I do like it when people do talk about film and stuff like that. And let's face it, at this point, film is also what we're seeing on television because it's kind of indistinguishable. I can't believe TV is what it is. So, you know,
It's so beautiful.
yeah, like tell me what you think and if you think it's good or what your other favorite stuff is cuz I'm also always looking for something new cuz I freely admit I love TV. So, there it is. Like,
We are a TV watching household. This is
yeah,
true.
I was raised by the television. So,
I have no
that
judgment on the
that and
matter.
the internet. And speaking of being raised by the internet, I think maybe it's time.
This was probably your slickest transition yet. Nice
Oh, I got
job.
it. Okay, nice. All right,
Yeah, that
sweet.
was that was good.
Sweet,
Raised by the internet. All right.
Yeah. Raised by the internet also. What about that thing where you talk about things on the internet?
On the internet. Well, I read a lot. A lot of it is sourced to me by the internet. Um, Usually it's really boring articles about whatever, politics or linguistics or uh pop culture or whatever. But once in a while,
Every
I
great
end
once in a
up
while.
once a week actually. I am tasked with reading out loud during this segment called The Cold Read,
The cold read. The coldest of reads.
the coldest read. Um about instances where people engage with each other and put it out there to the rest of us to judge whether or not they were an asshole about it or not.
Which it's
And
funny, now that we're doing this more frequently, I am just like consistently hearing about am I the asshole things just in life in general, to the point that even my partner the other day brought up a am
oh
I the
no.
asshole that she had read. And I was like, okay, the Matrix is doing its thing. It's tuning. It's
It's
done
too.
it. So you are
Yeah.
tuning my experience, Ruth. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I do my best. I live to serve. Um, so as you may or may not know, I don't particularly care for Reddit. It has its uses, but generally speaking, it just kind of frustrates me how people just go on
It's
there
good at
and
that.
like unendingly troll each other. I feel like that is kind of an unfortunately terrible way to use this tool that we call the internet.
It's a weird way to
Um,
build your business model overall, Like,
right.
hey, want to argue about shit? We got a website for that. Like,
I, I mean, it works, and I get it because it really does directly go towards this human nature sort of situation, as far as that inclination goes, which is fine. Like, fine,
the
whatever, man.
sociology of Reddit.
Yeah, but for my own well-being, my own
Mental health.
mental well-being, I tend to stay away. I don't care if I need to learn how to nail a nail into a piece of wood a different way. Like, I'll find it somewhere else. And Reddit is really good for stuff like that.
It really is true.
Um,
Yeah.
and I understand like the premise of its existence. That said, a lot of Reddit would weigh me down like a fucking anchor. So I don't read Reddit, but my husband does. And one of the things that he discovered a while ago was that he could share with me from this subreddit called Am I the Asshole? And then we could have fun, engaging conversations about whether or not the poster OP was an asshole in how they dealt with this interpersonal situation, or whether or not the other person was an asshole and they were not the asshole, NTA, um, whether everybody sucked in that situation, ESH, or the unicorn of all statuses, right? Whether or not there were no assholes here, NAH.
Yes.
So it became a little habit of his to kind of read these things out loud to me. And then when this podcast bloomed, it became a regular segment. So I'm going to click one. Are you ready?
Oh, I am ready. I
All right,
am
everybody.
so
Put
ready.
on your big pants. Here we go.
Hike up your shorts.
Am I the asshole for not being attracted to my own race? Oh.
Wow. Coming out.
Damn, babe,
hot.
coming in hot over here.
Yeah,
Sweet
wow.
husband of mine. All right. Well, I know why he picked it. It's because it's a short one. Sometimes you guys write novels and
Nice.
you're not paying me enough to read 14 paragraph personal essays. So here we go with the one paragraph. Ready, everyone?
Here we go.
Hi there. Before everything, I want to say that English is not my first language. So I'm an 18-year-old black girl. I live on this country in Europe, and I can say that my parents made me have a good lifestyle. There's still black people where I live, but there are more white people. I've talked to some guys before, and eventually I realized that every guy that I've had a great connection or have ever felt physically attracted to was white. And it wasn't on purpose. Every time I talked to a black guy, something they did turned me off. For example, I really like guys that have life plans, a great education and careers. And all the black guys that I've talked thought that college wasn't all that, so I really couldn't make myself feel something. I don't think I fetishize white guys or so. I just think that for some reason I've only been in great connection with them. But some people realize that I've only been with white guys and they start telling me that I betrayed my own race. But it's not like I made a choice to only be attracted to white guys. It's just what it happens and how it is going. I don't know what to think.
Huh. Wow. This is interesting.
Babe,
first,
seriously, this is
Yeah.
the email you sent me today.
this
Thanks,
is.
babe. Love you. I know why you sent it to me. I got you, babe. But damn, yo.
Oh yeah.
He's listening from
Jeez.
the other room. I know he can hear me right now.
Yeah, he knows what he did. He knows what he did.
All right,
Oh,
well, let's unpack this,
I mean,
Brian.
let's do it. Like we don't always choose the path in our life. It just comes for us, and let's see what we think about it. All right. So, but first of all, I just want to say, like, I'm the whitest white bread dude. Like, I mean, just in the sense of like I'm a very white guy. So I approach situations like this with a, as much like what's the word? Conscious thought as words that I really can, because let's just face facts. Like, dudes, we'll just say men or whatever, like people, a lot of guys out there just fetishize fucking everything that they really can. So, and then would probably, and I've heard people say, have guys have arguments like this and, firmly believe that they're in the right because of some completely inane nonsense bullshit that just has to do with trying to subjugate women, and that part is pretty upsetting to me. So I will say right off the bat, like, I don't hear anything like that coming from the OP side. I mean, it sounds to me like that's just your preference, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think that you're the asshole here. Um, I, as always, as really often comes up in this segment, I'm curious, like, what prompted this person to go and post about this? Because I'm
Mm.
fairly certain at this point that most of the time the reason that somebody gets onto Reddit, and specifically this subreddit, to post about this is because somebody gave them some shit or something else. And the other half of the time is like they just need to kind of assuage some, you know, internal struggle or argument or et cetera, which I get as well. So I would be interested to see or know, like, who called this person out on it, or like something else, like where it is that that came from. Because yeah, like, I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think so. I think you know what your preference is, and that doesn't mean that that won't change or something else. Like, that's part of being a human being and evolving. Like, you're attracted to who you're attracted to, you are who you are. And if you're not doing it from a in the lens of being just a total asshole, which you could, then I think you're not the asshole. That's my feeling on the whole thing. But again, I I don't know what this must be like also to be a person of color who, is attracted to, or not even, because that, I mean, the OP said that's not even like totally the whole thing here as well. They didn't come out of this saying like, oh, I only date white guys or something like that. It's more about just like
Yeah.
what their overall experience has been. But I don't know. I fully also acknowledge, like, I wouldn't be able to know what that is like myself. So I have a limited probably vocabulary all the same. But top level, you're not the asshole. No.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Um, Coming from a multiracial household, it's definitely a conversation that has happened here at home in a very frank fashion. And in the case of our silent editor, thanks, babe. Thank you
Yeah.
for this.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
for
call
this
you out
one.
now. um,
Jeez.
he did not grow up around a lot of the persuasion that he prefers, right? Around the ladies of his own race, like
Sure.
he might have elsewhere. But he's from here, born, raised. And so when a half black, half white guy meets a half Mexican, half white girl, um, it turns out that we end up having like a lot of shit in common.
Do 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 do.
And it is what it is, and there's no other reason that we're together except that we like each other.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Um, I
That's what
think that
matters.
I mean seriously, like dead ass, right? And the people listening to this podcast who are rolling their eyes because I have spent many an hour complaining about him to my friends, I know, thank you for the support. Um, Also know that, I love this dude.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
smart, he's stubborn, he's cute. Every time we hang out together, we have a pretty great time. Sometimes until we don't, and then we just go to bed and sleep it off, and then,
Yeah. Yeah.
reconvene the council in the morning and act as this household that we agreed that we would be. And we've been together for, as you know, quite a while now. No, I don't think that you should worry about who you like unless, as you pointed out, Brian, there might be other superseding like categorical reasons, like I only date
Right.
blank type of people
Right.
because of this like overarching belief in that category of people, not that person.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
Yeah.
that's where it kind of gets super I was going to say tricky, but truly just racist.
Yeah,
um
and I guess that was the only part of OP's thread here that almost leaned into that a little bit with like saying that like, they prefer like
yeah,
people who
careers
are
and like yeah,
yeah,
goals
and
in life.
that's I mean, like people are people. I very very much disagree all the time. And I don't know how old this person is or anything else, but like I
18,
always
18-year-old.
Oh, 18. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Got it. All right, thank you. So, okay, yeah, I mean, you have some experience and to still happen. People are
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
man. I mean,
Hmm.
you really want to be real careful about any kind of bias on that kind of tip at all. I mean, just really at all. But when it comes to race and etc. I mean, just don't fall for that. Is all I gotta say. Like, I don't know that the OP is like
There's
falling, but
there's
like,
plenty of piece of shit white guys,
yes,
okay?
there are. I talk about them a lot on this podcast. I got one ready to roll.
Oh god.
Okay,
I can't even wait.
like yeah, okay, like there
So
are,
that's sort of like categorical judgment, I feel, is
yeah,
probably, as you say, like edging into the danger zone. But also to your point, this is a very young person.
yeah, right,
This is a young person who is making like conscious decisions and exploring the space. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
no, yeah,
And I think that even asking the question is already indicative of like wanting to make sure that you're making the right choices for the right reasons.
yeah, yeah,
Um
agreed,
and you just haven't met your person yet. And
right,
sometimes, especially if you put that sort of level of expectation on yourself, right? Like I want to, make sure I have somebody that has like a 10-year plan and X amount of money in the bank or
yeah,
whatever, like
right, yeah,
that limits you from finding the person who may not have a 10-year plan. Maybe they have like a 3-month plan or a 5-year plan or a 7-year plan instead.
right, right,
Um, that you might have more in common with. So that's kind of where I would like step back from the edge. But as far as like finding your person, you're just gonna find them
yeah, yeah.
eventually if you want to, and you're under no obligation, like
Absolutely
it
not.
doesn't
Yeah.
this is not an actual like mandatory part of being a human being. You don't have to find a person, but
Nope.
if you want to find a person, you have to be open to who that might be. But that's the whole
Yes.
point of dating when you're 18, right? That's the whole point of like exploring the world and talking to different people and finding out where everyone's at and why. And
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're 18 and they're anywhere near your age range, like none of y'all's jello is set yet.
No. No. And that's okay, but
And that
it's
is
not.
okay.
I mean, it's not.
It's
Like,
just not set yet. So, yeah, you're allowed to question this now. I would encourage anybody to not um lock it in before they have taken a couple of laps around the block. I mean,
right.
I don't even mean that
Right.
sexually. I just mean that in terms of experiences. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
in a European country and you're in a minority. Maybe it's time to poke around other places.
Right.
Go
Exactly.
see what's
Yeah.
what, where's where, and why is why, and gain some perspective, which it sounds like you might. So,
Yeah.
not
Right.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
NTA. I don't think
Yeah. NTA. Yeah. For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't think that this like raises to the level of like ultimate concern in
No.
insofar as an
No.
ideology that would be damaging to others or yourself.
Because those ideologies definitely exist out there and
Oh
they're
yeah. Oh yeah.
horrible. So
Racist people really fucking suck,
they really fucking say, yeah, like that's the
and
worst.
some of them
Yeah.
are really violent, and people get killed for no other reason than existing, and that's not okay.
Nope. Nope, not at all. And like there's I would venture to guess again in this OP's life that, there's been someone who maybe was calling them out in a lighter, a heavier handed way,
Yeah,
and maybe even doing so from a point of, wanting to be helpful or something else.
sure.
But even down that road, it lies only other people's perspective. And if you really only tune yourself to other people's perspective, I mean, I'm here to tell you it doesn't really work out very well in the long run.
No,
So
it doesn't.
live your life and just be like good about what you're doing. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, cultural expectations, when you have the type of support system that includes people who are older than you, right? Or more deeply
Right.
rooted or in their own perception, like self-centered in their cultural identity, are it may be inevitable that you hear their opinion,
Yes. Right. I
right?
mean, yeah, like it
And
it
and
just
it
happens. Yeah.
and criticism is hard to ignore, and the whole point of criticism is to not be ignored, right? So
Yeah.
it's a good
Right.
consideration and be like, am I acting against my own self-interest here? But ultimately, and this applies to everyone, haters gonna hate.
There you go. That's a good diagnosis. Yeah.
So, definitely take everything with a grain of salt, even if it's rooted in some sort of like cultural identity point of concern
Yes.
for those folks.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think that there's anything wrong with making a decision as to whether you're going to date only within, your race or ethnicity or only outside of it. I don't have a value judgment on that. I
No.
think that that is a highly personal choice, and as long as it's not harming anyone, obviously up to and including yourself first and foremost, then you get to like whoever you like. And that is liking a person is like peak level of like subjectivity, right? Like
Yes. a hundred
no
percent.
no one
All the
can
way.
tell you who
Oh yeah.
who to like. Like they
Oh
can tell
yeah.
you that, you're being like whatever, dumb or silly or, whatever people call each other when they're like, no way that you like that person, like
Yeah.
ridiculing each other and whatnot. But
Right.
you cannot, and you should not. And I mean, there are entire tragic plays written about this, right? Like
110%. Yeah. And a
outside
lot of
of
episodes of Sex in the City as well.
right.
Another
I'm
fandom
just saying,
actually
this
I'm
is like,
very deep into,
this is
everybody, just so everybody knows. So
so funny.
yep.
No one can tell you who to like. No one can tell you who to not like. This is a you issue. So if
Yeah.
you're, out there exploring the world, figuring out what kind of person you would like to spend a significant amount of time with, and you're doing so actively, judiciously, and, protecting yourself first and foremost, then
Yeah, go for it.
who,
Yeah.
I
You know,
mean,
what the fuck does
what are
anybody
they
know in the
what
long
are
run,
they
man?
what's going to happen to them if you end up with the person that you actually like,
Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
so NTA, just
NTA,
continue
take
to take care of yourself and
yeah.
each other. Again,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
nice to each other and the machines.
Yeah. In the immortal words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another?
Yeah,
So or each
absolutely.
other. I forget if they said one another, each other, but whatever. Just be excellent. There's
Ex-
nothing wrong. But that was a challenging one. Thanks a lot,
Thanks a lot,
Nathan.
babe.
Wow. Okay. Now I'm really interested to see what happens in this next one, because this is where the cold read part of this definitely is like, oh shit.
That one took me out at the
Should
knees myself.
should I stop recording?
I know. Cut it out.
I
Cut it
might have
off.
messed up. I might have messed up. No. But you know what? Thank you, Nathan, because that is challenging the hell out of us, and that's a
Yeah.
good thing, man. So yeah. All right. Okay. All right, I'm ready. I'm breathing. I'm ready for
Oh
this next one.
man, I
Okay.
don't know which of your segments you're gonna do next, so this may be the perfect segue, or we may have mistimed this horrifically by a week. You tell me, but I'm about to read it. The
Oh boy.
headline says, "Am I the a-hole for feeling hurt by an AI video?"
Oh shit. Wow. I mean, I'm real interested by this title already. So,
Oh, this is so funny.
okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Allow me to compose myself. Okay.
Breathe, everybody breathe.
My husband, 34, and I, 30, have a history that goes way back. We were each other's first kiss as teenagers and reconnected years later. We've been together for 9 years and married for 4. And he's always been the most amazing, loving person I know. Last night, something happened that really broke my heart. We were having wine with friends when my husband, who was sitting right across from me, messaged me. I opened it and saw an AI generated video of him kissing a female coworker.
Whoa.
As I watched it, my face dropped while he just smiled, waiting for my reaction. I tried to keep my composure while our friends were there, but after they left, we had a difficult conversation. My husband insisted I was overreacting, saying it was just a joke and that he didn't even, quote, do, unquote, anything, since it was an AI video created by another male coworker.
Oh wow.
I told him that that wasn't the point. What hurt me was that he found it funny and was so dismissive. When I asked him what his reaction was in their work group chat, he said, I had no reaction because it's not a big deal.
Whoa.
That's when things escalated. I explained that the video was disrespectful not only to me but also to his female coworker. To have no reaction, to treat this as a non issue, was deeply concerning. Our marriage is built on trust, and while I understand workplace jokes, this crossed a major line. We ended up fighting all night and slept in separate bedrooms. I told him that if he couldn't see why this was a problem, then our marriage might not be as solid as I thought. And now I'm considering divorce.
Wow.
So, am I the asshole for getting this upset over a video that wasn't even real?
Wow. That escalated quickly. I
I know,
mean,
right? Holy crap.
whew. Damn. I mean, okay. Um whoosh. Whoa. Oh man, okay. I'm gonna need a drink
Yeah, you are. Sorry
after
about that.
today's episode, everybody. Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna compose myself here as well. Like, first of all, and I just gotta just throw it on the table. Like, you're not the asshole. Yeah, I mean, I don't see you being the asshole here. I what I see is like this is one of these things where the the root of the matter, or like the cause, the thing that made the thing happen, is not really as bad as all of the stuff that was associated with it. Like that's kind of my gut reaction here, is that I feel like, I'm not saying, I mean, I would be annoyed if something like that happened to me, most definitely. And especially if it wasn't like LOL, look at this, or something else, like to just like kind of have it be presented and then brushed off in some kind of really gaslighty way of being like, it's not a big deal. It's just it's just a goof and all. Like, I don't know, man. Like that sounds kind of pointed at that juncture to me, and that's not cool. And so I would certainly say that, while the thing that caused it all to happen is it's not super evergreen or vanilla, it's still a little bit annoying. It could have ended up being something that maybe was a goof and didn't end up escalating into this, but I don't think you're the asshole for, I mean, I don't know. I don't know though, this really comes down to where you're at in your relationship. But like you've been together for 9 years and married for 4. I mean, you should probably know each other pretty well at that point, and I would think would be able to like, read each other's kind of like humor signals and everything else. And it doesn't sound like this was done in humor in the long run. This sounds like just some serious bullshit, if you ask me. So, like, no, you're not the asshole at all. I'm going to assume that there's a lot of people that are saying, like, wait a minute, you want to get a divorce and like end your marriage and stuff because of an AI video or something like that. But like, I mean, you know what, man? Clarity comes in all kinds of packages, is what it comes down to. And I think it's super duper unfortunate that it's coming from this, but that just sounds to me like there was something else happening. And this was like the weird soft way of being like, I'm interested in those other people or whatever the fuck. Like, again, just we've said it before on this podcast, just like be an adult for frick's sake. Could you just do that? Because that's all sounds like a
Did
weird
you just say
entrapment way.
frick? That's so funny.
Frickin' fraggin' son of a, yeah. Like, who am I? Yosemite Sam? Maybe I am. If
No, I'm
that's how I
listening.
am, then I
I
guess
don't
that's
disagree with
okay,
you.
minus the mustache. Um, no, I don't know. I mean, again, I just immediate NTA. Like, I could not respond any other way. But I imagine there's a lot of people there making this OP feel like they are an asshole in this situation because of the fact that, as I've talked about with all of this AI bullshit, like people just kind of keep looking at all of it in a lot of ways. It's like, haha, it's all because it's so fake, because it's this and that and the other thing, like it doesn't matter. And that's the same type of excuse that people have used time and again in the past before AI for all manner of really horrible things. When you really boil it down, is like, well, I don't believe in it. I just because I said it doesn't mean I believe it, or LOL, it's just a goof, it's just a joke. It's like, yeah, but like shit carries weight, man. So I don't know. That sucks, is all I gotta say. That sucks like real bad overall. And whoever facilitated that, if it was the husband that made that video, or if it was apparently some coworker or something, you suck real bad. You're the asshole. Like, there's some other assholes here, but it ain't the OP.
Agreed. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, NTA, obviously, and I've said this before, I'll continue to say it. A lot of people come onto this subreddit asking for permission to feel mad or sad or upset about something.
Right.
Fact of the matter is that you already feel bad and you don't need anybody's permission to quote unquote overreact over the likes of this. If
Right.
my husband had done that to me, it would not have been a one night fight.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be
And
like,
it
yo, we're
it
going to therapy on this at the very
yeah,
fucking least. Like,
absolutely, like, and the thing is, he's not like that. And he doesn't carry on with his coworkers like that. So a
right.
couple things I see here. I see a toxic work environment. Um, I
Yeah, this
used to
sounds like
work
some fucked up dude bro fucking
I don't like
bullshit
it.
work
I don't like
environment.
it.
Yeah.
I've worked in more
Yeah.
than one place, especially when I was a lot younger, and one in particular was a call center, a tech call center, and we kicked ass at our job. We did really, really well. We were all very smart. We were all very savvy. Um, they loved us because we were outsourced, and we loved them because they paid us good for the time.
Mhm.
And all of our excellence did not prevent us from being a bunch of little piggies in a sty. Like, it was the work environment was not healthy.
Yeah.
The types
As
of
many
things that were
usually end up being.
right, and it was a bunch of, younger people, so we were reckless and we were thoughtless and we were all sleeping with each other and doing drugs together and whatnot, this, that, and the other, what have you. Um, it was not healthful, and eventually it took a toll, on the whole outfit.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So
As it will. Yeah.
if these are grown-ups, her husband is 34 years old.
Right.
She is 30. I'm remembering where I was working when I was 30 and 34. It was certainly not that kind of environment that I just described. In fact, it was all very buttoned down. It was all very above board. It was all very respectful. It was all very, you know, well enough paying, and I was focused on raising my child and paying my rent and shit. We were not carrying on like that at 30 or 34 like I was carrying on at 18 or
Right.
20.
Right. Yeah.
This whole AI advent has become a bigger problem than it should, because predictably human beings will just go ahead and push the fucking envelope,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
There you go.
and really explore the space with every new tool, right? Every stick, every
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, you are not the asshole for feeling disrespected and pained by it. It does not matter who made it. That it was made and shared in a work group chat all on its own is absolutely upsetting. And I feel concerned for you and the way your husband approached it with you. And I
Right.
feel
Yeah.
concerned for his coworker, who may or may not be in on the joke. In either case, she's at the losing end of the power dynamic. And if anyone's job is going to be risked, it's going to be hers first.
Yeah. Right.
I
Yeah.
know this from experience.
Yeah.
So I would be really worried that your husband, who is 4 years older than you and apparently part of some stable work environment where the coworkers have gotten so close to each other that they feel like they can carry on like this. The fact that this person does not understand why you might be hurt, or at the very least concerned,
Yeah. That's the
makes
biggie.
me think that you are dealing with somebody who's not acting in good faith toward you, either short or long term.
Yep. Yep.
And sometimes dudes will do this thing where they throw something like that out there to see if you're into a threesome. I've had that happen
Oh
to
God,
me,
that's true. Yeah. Oh
and
God.
it is one of the most confusing set of feelings to go through when it's being done in such a way that you are not consulted ahead of time, or it's not discussed with you in a way that you can go through the thought exercise on your own, before it's like sprung on you in some sort of hee hee ha ha dude way.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not funny, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
cute, it's not attractive. Why would she be attracted to somebody that thinks it's funny to watch an AI video of himself making out with a coworker?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
That's that's
you're allowed to
offensive.
not like that person anymore.
Absolutely, you are. Yeah. I mean, like you really, really are. And yeah, there's so many layers to different things here, which like mine my view always comes back to consent, because it's like
Right.
you're you're being forced into seeing and dealing with this without your consent, at all. It's just being sprung
And
on
in
you.
public, in front of these people. That's
Right.
not cool.
Yeah. And I wonder about the the other person in the AI video at the
Right.
same time. Like
Yeah,
I'm
talk about consent.
right, willing to bet some
She
good
didn't say
money
yes.
she didn't say yes to this. Yeah, exactly. And that is the thing that is like probably one of the most frustrating things about anything like this, whether it's a situation that somehow happens in this way or like your classic situation of, bullshit that happens in relationships, whatever else. It's the consent part of things that's just like somebody else deciding like, yo, I just get to do this. But because I'm still attached to this person or persons or whatever situation, I just kind of get to do whatever and they got to go along with it. And you absolutely the fuck do not
No, you
is
don't.
what I'm here to tell you, so no,
100%.
no, no. And that you definitely deserve a lot better than that. The drag of it is, yeah, obviously, like you have known this person for a long time, been with them for a long time, but
Yeah, but
people
9
change in
years
weird
out of
ways, man.
30, yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
are not beholden to your past that way. Like,
absolutely
that's
not.
the
No.
easiest way to hold yourself hostage in a relationship, especially an intimate relationship where it's
Yeah.
like, well, I've
Yeah.
already put so much into it. Like, what a loss this would be if I
Right.
lost it. Where instead you should be
Right.
thinking of it as how much time you're going to gain not putting up with this childish ass bullshit in
Yep.
public at a
Yep.
party, at a get together with
Yep.
his coworkers.
Yep.
It's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
And
not an LOL moment in any way,
I
shape, or form.
I would have lost my shit immediately in public.
Right, that would be a
But
throwing the phone across the table
oh,
situation. Like
100%. If only
absolutely
just the
not.
phone, couple
Yeah, if only
drinks and a
just the
plate.
phone. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're having this conversation right now, right in front of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I'm older than 30,
Yeah.
but there's a way that I learned how this goes down. And being silently humiliated in public by the person who wants to call themselves your
Yep.
partner
Yep.
is absolutely a strong fuck no from me.
Yep. Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
will not be happening.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, if you try it, you may not survive the attempt.
No. And to do so under the guise of this, again, this thing of just like, it's AI, LOL, it's not
No.
real. Like,
Well, her feelings are real and they were really butthurt.
exactly.
So we can
That's
just go
right.
ahead
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
start with that instead of this whole like, oh, it's not real. Like,
Right.
oh, motherfucker, you knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And the smirking and the dismissal tells me everything I need to know about how much he gives a shit
Yeah,
about
that was the
her
part that stuck with me about this thing.
emotional
Yeah.
state, you know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it wasn't real.
Yeah.
It hurt her feelings. And it's like, I know the typical joke is like, oh, women will have these dreams about their dude like fucking up and then they'll like wake up and be mad at them in real life. And it's like that happens, sure, whatever. But it
Right.
doesn't last long. I've woken up like that before where I was like, I've had to question the husband. I'm like, oh, that wasn't real, right?
Right.
Because my
Yeah.
my dreams are like very vivid. Like
Totally. Yeah.
I wake up after having lived an entirely different existence
Oh, yeah, same.
while I sleep.
100%. Yeah.
And
No, the
so like,
Matrix takes over in some weird
oh,
ways. Yeah.
insane. And so like there's been moments where I'm like, huh, so not that, right? And he's like, what? No, God, no. Jesus, Ruth, what's wrong with you? I'm
Yeah.
like, nothing, man. I'm still half asleep. I just woke up in a panic. And he's like, nah, we're good. And it's like, sure. I get the meme, right? I get the trope. I get the fucking thing. But this isn't a dream.
Yeah.
This
Right.
isn't of her own making. She didn't imagine this.
Right.
Somebody else did.
Right. Yeah.
And then she was put in a really tough social situation where she had to act in her own home, I might add,
Right.
on such a superficial level, while underneath the emotional turmoil is just building. Like, that's not good for your heart, man. That's not good for your stomach. That's not good for your
No.
soul. It's not good for your
No.
brain. It's not cool to put your partner in that type of situation, my dude.
Nope. Nope.
And to do it
Nope.
just to watch her squirm is, unless you guys are into that sort of thing, um incredibly cruel.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It
Like, if you
really
guys
is.
have some sort of like power play agreement going on, I am of no judgment here. But it sounds like he tried to put you in a position to subjugate you, again, without your consent,
Yes.
and leveraging incredibly difficult political waters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he knows that you won't get him fired.
Right.
My
Definitely.
husband would
Yeah.
never put me in a situation where
Yeah.
I run the risk of getting him fired for doing some dumb shit like that, because
Yeah.
I will be the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
Totally.
else line up
Right.
behind me.
Right.
And that's not a
Absolutely.
threat. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he put her in a position knowing that he had full control of her reaction without her agreement to that sort
Yep.
of position for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's a grosso. His workmate's a grosso. It sounds like their HR department is shit.
Oh, yeah.
And
This HR department sucks.
you weren't thinking about divorce, then you might suck too. But since you did consider it, are considering it, vaya con Dios, man. And I
Yeah,
hope your dude
seriously.
gathers a couple of fucking neurons together and rubs them into an iota of common sense for his own
A
future.
small flame, a small little spark
Little-
of a brain flame, because it sounds like right now it's just a barren fucking landscape of really boring rocks happening in this
Yeah.
dude's fucking
Yeah,
head.
he's on autopilot and he's about to wreck into a very giant pointy rock if he's not careful.
And he's gonna end up with just a fucking AI girlfriend in the long run. So good luck.
No job,
buddy, and no job. Right? Exactly.
Who
Yeah.
wants to hire that filth?
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's probably some people who would hire that filth, and those are the kind of people that we usually end up talking about on this podcast.
Just go hang out together and away from the rest of us.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Please,
They can
please
just go
do.
sit in that corner over there.
Yeah.
Fuck, go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
But I mean, if you hadn't considered divorce, I am in no position to suggest that you do or don't divorce him. Obviously, another highly personal choice. If you hadn't considered it, then I would be worried. But at least you're clear-eyed enough to see that if this behavior continues, it is most definitely not a place to stay. Why would you waste your time?
Yep. Truth. Yeah. Don't waste your time with that shit. And you're not the asshole, so revel in that. I mean, and our
in fact, you're practically a saint, because like I said, somebody might have ended up fucking dead by the end of that night if it was up to me.
Fucking seriously, yeah. So our hearts go out to you from this little podcast. I'll tell you that. If you listen to this, feel free to reach out and tell us how it goes.
Keep not taking any fucking shit from no one.
There you go. Damn right. Yeah.
Ain't no reason.
Don't take that shit. Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely
Life's
not.
too short and you're too cool. And fuck that guy. If he wants to keep
right.
acting like that, he can go figure it out with his little AI girlfriend.
There's plenty of websites for that. Wow. These were some saucy, spicy
I know.
AITAHs. That was a cold read for the records right there. Yeah.
Oh, happy Friday, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the party, pal. Wow. All right. Well, thank you as always, Ruth. And thank you, Nathan, for putting this together.
Get me away from
yeah, I don't know if my heart would be able to take another one. I just drop dead right here and be like, well, he died the way that he lived. On his podcast.
In the Discord right now.
Yeah. Tune into the Discord, folks, because there's gonna be you're gonna want to follow along on these ones, and
wow.
And wow. Okay. Well, so
your turn. Tag your it. No tag backs.
Yeah. Damn it. Okay. I was going to lean into dumb criminals this week, but this little segment made me decide that I need to pull up something else that I have been saving for my other favorite segment, which many are getting to know as AI Apocalypse. So this is happening because of kind of really that last part of the segment there, everybody.
You're welcome.
So there you go. Mine's not as saucy. It's a bit more it's a bit more
Oh.
just why does this happen? Okay, that's just what I'm going to leave it as. It's like why does this happen? So
Uh-oh.
yeah, in today's segment of AI Apocalypse, I want to talk about the fact that now, let me preface this with something. I'm a musician. I've been a musician for basically my whole life. And, it's pretty damn hard to make it in the world of music, like no matter what. Everybody knows that. Like it's an it's a logical fallacy to enter into the music industry and be like, oh, yeah, it's definitely going to go off. Like you ultimately have to make music like because you love it. That's the reason that you do it is you make it because you love it. And then hopefully parts of it or all of it end up turning maybe into some revenue or et cetera. And a lot of times it doesn't. You have to be okay with that part too. Now, where I'm starting to get pretty frustrated with this little, not even little, with this giant ball of garbage that is just rolling along of AI that's just sort of Katamari Damacying its way into being like a fucking just monstrous ball of shit that's just, gobbling up everything in its path is AI music. Now, this,
Yeah, I
yeah,
go ahead.
go, no, yeah, tell me, hit me. Okay, I'm ready.
No, I've just been thinking about you every time I start to see something like that bubble up. It's so bizarre to watch
It really is.
all
It's
my art friends just be like, "Hey, no."
right. Like no,
Oh,
just no. And
no.
and and the visual artists were saying it first, obviously. I
They were.
mean, visual artists were the first ones to
But
get
it
hit
didn't take
with
long
this.
for it to get
No, not at all. Visual artists and
messy.
writers, I mean, really writers were like their
Oh,
first and
absolutely.
foremost, right?
No, I
And
had I have to actually explicitly ask people if I send them what I'm writing to not crunch it through AI at all.
right, totally.
There's one person in
Yeah,
particular who is I love this person as an artist, but they started going headlong into it, and I sent them something that I wrote,
right.
like a short story, and I was like, "Do not. You are under
Don't
explicit
do this.
instruction
Yeah,
to not crunch it through
right,
any
right.
any." And this was shit a couple years ago now, I guess. So they were even more primordial and rudimentary. I have absolutely zero interest in having my shit get crunched through AI.
Right. Like, let it be kind of imperfect, and honestly, that's always been the thing that I love about music in general, is that whether or not it's produced in a way that sounds perfect or whatever else, something about music is always somewhat imperfect because it's made by human beings, and
But that's
that
the whole point.
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and I love electronic music, I make electronic music, and a lot of electronic music that I listen to, there are tons of parts of it. And this is made, by humans controlling machines making electronic music. But even there are those subtle things. It's like, okay, this reminds me it was made by a human. What is driving me a little bit bonkers right now, and this is one I've talked about on like my Instagram and other things in the past a little bit. And so I thought I'd bring this one up this time because it's been on my list for a while. And what the hell, today seems to be the day. Um, I'm showing on my screen right now for anybody who's watching the video. You'll be able to see this. If you can't see it, you can check out the articles on the Discord, and of course, watch the video if you want to just see my explainer of everything. I could dive really deep into this, but uh, we all knew already when AI was starting to really ramp up even more so that it was just going to kind of make its way into every single part of the creative arts that it could. And now, what has happened, and this is not necessarily old news at this point, but what is starting to happen is that AI generated bands and musicians, artists, etc., are starting to just become the tastemakers slash the high earners on platforms like Spotify, which is incredibly frustrating, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. But I'm just going to start off by talking real quickly about a band called the Velvet Sundown, which is, first of all, really? This is what you landed on? Like, nothing tells me that you AI generated all your shit. Like, the fact that even that name was just spit out by an AI prompt in some way. So, the Velvet Sundown. This is an article from Berkeley.edu, and Berkeley, for anybody who doesn't know, Berkeley, Berklee, very well known in the world of music production, has great courses on music production and etc. And this stuff got big enough that even they decided to write an article about this. And the article is Velvet Sundown, the AI Band Controversy Explained. Berkeley faculty explain what you need to know about the now confirmed AI band with over 1 million streaming subscribers. So again, we'll get into that. Now, if you're looking at the video, you can see this picture
Sorry.
of the, yeah, it's, I mean, come on.
I can't take it seriously.
This is what you settled on as the AI generated picture of your quote unquote band. I mean, I'm sorry, but this shit is real bad. It looks cheesy. As a drummer, I personally have to take issue with the drummer in this picture because this guy is very obviously not doing anything at all. He's just got his drumsticks sort of like in his hands as if he's showing them to somebody to be like, I found my drumsticks. Also, they don't look like drumsticks. They kind of look like, I don't know, he just found some wood on the side of the street and was like, hey, look, I'm a drummer now. So, that part alone, the drummer in me is annoyed by that, much less the fact that, according to the article, everybody's talking about the Velvet Sundown, a prolific band. I'm not going to agree about prolific, by the way, Berkeley. That, in just a few months, released 3 albums and garnered over 1.4 million monthly listeners via its verified Spotify account. If that sounds questionable, it is. The band has recently confirmed that its members are, quote, not quite human, not quite machine, unquote, on its official social media accounts.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, what it basically boils down to is that the Velvet Sundown is just a bunch of music that was created by prompts using AI models that can make music. And there's a few of these out there.
By who?
This hasn't really been figured out at this point. I'm sure that digging in a little bit, and I will maybe do a bit of a deeper dive on this and get into this as this goes along. I mean, this article is from July 2025, so it's not too old. Everyone was kind of hearing about the Velvet Sundown in the past 3-4 months, give or take. And immediately a decent number of people who are very active in the music industry started to call this out and say, like, okay, wait a minute. How did these guys release 3 albums, which also you could release 3 albums. You could produce and release 3 albums in the same week. I have written a hell of a lot of music in 1 week. I'm not really concerned about that part, but people were really confused about the fact that this quote unquote band was able to release 3 albums in a very small amount of time and moreover amass over 1.4 million monthly listeners through Spotify. And
it sounds like a botnet to me, honestly.
It essentially is, because here's the interesting thing about all of this. And anybody who follows me on social media has probably seen that I have, in the past about year or so, I've started to dive a little more heavily into a lot of stuff that has to do with the music industry because I've been a part of it for a really long time and I've seen a lot of really dodgy things happen. This is like some of the most dodgy stuff, which is hilarious because it's also like right in our faces when you come right down to it. Like, this band was never necessarily pushed as being a real band. It was just music that started to show up on Spotify. But anyone who's ever released music onto a streaming service knows that just simply releasing it absolutely does not mean that anyone is going to listen to it. It never does, because streaming services really
ask our podcast numbers.
Exactly. There you go. Right? Like, come on. We're not hitting millions of streams here, everybody. Sure, it'd be cool if we did. Tell your friends. But like, most artists don't. In fact, even a lot of very well-known artists who are on platforms like Spotify really don't have up into the millions of listeners or streams and etc. And that's because, very simply, and I did a short video about this earlier today, people at this point are so overstimulated in a lot of ways, right? By the sheer amount of media that exists, that a lot of musicians, they release their music and then they're like, why doesn't anybody listen to it? I told my friends, I told my family and everything like that. Even those people in your closest circle are so overstimulated and just hammered with media all the time that they really kind of can't pay attention to your music. But what people will be able to pay quick attention to is stuff that doesn't really have any major brain tickling to it. Okay. Like music, usually people get into it because it does kind of tickle the brain a little bit. Something hits you in your psyche that says, oh, wow, I align with this in some way or another. Now, funny fact, I've not listened to the Velvet Sundown. I refuse to. I don't even want to know what this crap sounds like because I've actually heard a lot of AI music and I've been like, well, first of all, I can tell it was made by AI. It's just simply too perfect. And second of all, it's rarely really enjoyable in any way or another. It's kind of a bunch of mismatched garbage just all slammed together because
It's
the
like white
music,
noise.
yeah, it really is, which, by the way, is totally something that soothes our brains, right? And most people over the course of their day are kind of looking to just like calm their anxiety brain. That's where music ends up coming in. That's why Spotify has become such a big player in this space because Spotify made it really, really easy for people to get all the music, most all the music in all of history that's been recorded and just listen to it. But every single corporation always has to look at, okay, but how do we really start to push getting people stuck onto our platform and really listening while also driving down the cost of our operation? Now, for anybody who doesn't already know, Spotify doesn't pay anything for a stream, for a band, for an artist, etc. You literally make a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny for every stream. So when you see an artist getting 100,000 streams or something like that, they're not making a bunch of money. What they are getting is their own brain tickles that says, oh, cool, there's a lot of people that are listening to this. But those people are still not making a lot of money. In fact, even a lot of really popular, super well known artists are not making a bunch of money off of streaming because of the way that these systems have been built when you come right down to it. They've been built in such a way so that musicians, creatives, etc., are not going to be paid anything. My problem, and where I bring in the AI apocalypse thing here, is that when you have bands like the Velvet Sundown, which are created solely with AI platforms, I'm assuming this was done using one that's really well known called Suno or Sunu. I'm not really sure how to say it. I haven't used it. I've known people who have used it, which essentially allows you to get onto the platform, pay a subscription, type in what it is that you want, and then have some stuff spit back at you. You can change it from etc. I'm guessing the
Like
Velvet Sundown came
music?
from there. Yes, absolutely. Completely music. Music that, by the way, is being created only because these learning models have been trained off of actual recorded music by actual human beings. So much so that there is a class action lawsuit that is being enacted right now
I was
by
gonna
some
say,
people in the
isn't that like
industry.
thievery? Didn't
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Lars Ulrich throw a fit about something
Yeah.
adjacent to this many,
Didn't
many moons
Lars lose
ago?
his shit about this at some point? He did. Exactly. He most certainly did. And I,
Adjacent, not the same,
I don't even
but
know what Lars
similar.
thinks about all of this at this point. I would
This
be
would be fascinating
interested to know.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, because now this is on a whole new level,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And
this is out of control shit.
yeah,
So
and
that's basically crunching humans producing music,
yes,
stuff that may or may not be under copyright. Is it indiscriminate in that regard?
it is because going back to things that I've talked about in this segment, where AI bros get away with a lot of their bullshit is that there really haven't been laws written that govern how it
Right.
is that media can be used in this way. There's plenty of law that has to do with how it is that you could use a song if you put it on YouTube or if you go out and start pretending that you wrote somebody else's song or something, right? There's multiple things that have to do
Sure.
with that. But there hasn't really
So
been
this is
anything in
falling
this
under
space.
like fair usage just because we haven't said it's not?
Essentially, that's the argument that AI companies
Gross.
make.
That's not true.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
disingenuous.
Right, exactly.
This
And
is this is
and
not
that's
sampling. This is not
no, no. And there are multiple things that have happened in modern music at this point right now, especially with sampling that have to do with the fact that there are musicians who have been sampled so heavily that it just sort of became an assumption that what was being sampled was just sort of public domain, even though it very much was not.
Was not, yeah.
The one that I'm referring to here is the Amen break. Now, the Amen break is probably the most well known um, drum loop, drum break that has ever been known, recorded, or anything else.
Hmm.
It's a drum break that, or rather, a piece of a song. I'll go ahead and share another screen here right now. The Amen break is kind of the linchpin of a lot of well-known music. It has been used in everything. It's been heavily used in drum and bass music, but it has also found its way into even little stupid jingles that are used in commercials and things like this. And the Amen break is a drum sample that is from a track that was recorded in 1969 called Amen Brother by the Winstons. And it's a very simple drum break that was recorded, played by a drummer named Gregory Coleman. And it's only 4 bars of music, and it has been in everything for years and years and years.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's just simply a drum break. It's just a drum loop. It's a break in the song
I know,
that,
but what does it sound like?
well, let's see if we can get it to play here.
That's The Prodigy.
There you go. That's right. There it is. There it is. That's it, right?
Am I wrong? That's The Prodigy,
Not at
right?
all, because
Okay.
that sample has been used by everybody, literally everybody, not literally, but close to everybody. And it's an amazing little drum break, and it's from a song that wasn't even super well known as time went on, but it just sort of became assumed over time that it was essentially public domain because it was used so much. Now, so much so that there were fundraisers that were created in order to get some money back to Gregory Coleman, the drummer who played this drum break, because he wasn't getting paid for all of that sampling that was happening. But
That's nuts.
the interesting thing about this, it is, and the reason that I bring all of this up is that even in that situation, we're talking about a piece of music that a human being created that ended up being used by a lot of other human beings for the thing that they were creating. Now, I make electronic music. I have used a lot of samples in my time. I have worked to tell people about who made those samples if I can. Sometimes you simply don't know, but human beings have the ability to start figuring that out. What's mind blowing about this AI thing and the way that it's going down is that these systems can definitely figure out where these samples to make this music are coming from because they're trained off of it. But again, AI tech bros sort of just exist on this space that right now they're still skirting by on, that says, it's fair use because it's out there and we're not directly using it, we're just learning from it. But there's been a lot of proof that has shown that in a lot of AI music, when really dug deep, you can find snippets of other people's songs within that music. And what's mind-blowing about this, really, and is the AI apocalypse part of this ultimately, is that Spotify as a company says that they're completely fine with AI music being released on Spotify. Now, there are other platforms that have taken a stance against AI music, but the problem that still comes up is A, figuring out if it is AI. There are various tools out there to start kind of picking apart a piece of music to try and suss out if it was made by AI. And other platforms have started to get on that. But Spotify, which is arguably the largest and most well known streaming service out there, says we're fine with it. We're okay with it. They do have some caveats to that they pepper in on their terms and conditions that have to do with, you couldn't release an album on Spotify that you said was a new Beatles album, for instance. If you did that, your ass is going to get sued for sure. So you can't do that, but you can do what whoever created the Velvet Sundown did and create a bunch of music using an AI system and release it and potentially make money off of it. And there's been a lot of conflicting things that have to do with, like, if the person that did create the Velvet Sundown is making a lot of money off of these streams, or if they're not. And there's not really any solid numbers on this at this point, just like there's really no solid numbers on who the heck actually did this. And I do need to dig in a little bit to it. I'm going very top level here because, as you can see, there's already so much that comes with all of it. But my whole thing about this, again, is really ultimately, I think it's a bit wild that, and I'm going back to something that you said in last week's podcast, that we've sort of just accepted all of this, that it just is what it is. We've just kind of taken these parts of computing and the new human experience that's coming with it and just said, like, yeah, like this is fine. It's just a thing that's happening. And we're not considering the fact that it can have really damaging effects in the long run, because Spotify, while allowing a band like the Velvet Sundown
Heavy
to
quotes
exist,
on that.
heavy quotes, big bold, right? To exist on Spotify and get a lot of streams and etc., they will allow that. But Spotify has also done things like take artists' music down off of Spotify entirely, take their music off of the platform, simply because Spotify decided or said that it seemed that the person who had released that music was getting attention to their music by using bot farms, by using playlists that were made by bots, basically by using false ways of getting plays on the platform. But to that I say, like, is there nothing more fake or false than a band that literally does not exist, whose music is based off of the music of other actual musicians? But Spotify doesn't have a problem with this. Meanwhile, they will take artists' music down, saying that the reason that they do is because they're protecting the platform and the integrity of the platform, and etc. But let's face facts.
They
Simple
sound
fact is
they're
they don't have to
like
pay those people. That's why they do that.
yeah, I was gonna say they sound like a jealous other.
Yeah. It's kind of like a jealous boyfriend, like,
Or like you know,
yeah,
like friend group situation.
right,
That's weird. You would think that you would be happy to hear that your platform is helping people get heard, but
right,
getting pulled on the non FBI vetted suspicion
right,
that there's some sort of botnet bolstering these people's numbers.
right. Which is absolutely also how it is that the Velvet Sundown managed to get the number of listens that they
Of
had
course, that's what I'm
in such a small
saying.
amount
Like
of
this
time.
is
Yeah,
happening right now.
right.
And we don't have to know the person or people
Yeah,
behind this shit. We just don't
right,
have to know who they are because again, the Velvet
right.
Sundown did not wake up one day as a microchip, wipe its
And
cute
suddenly
little
produce a bunch of
circuit.
albums. Yeah.
Yeah, and decide to start this is all still driven by human input.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that again speaks to what, you brought up last week, which is that, like, we're still talking in a lot of ways about basic input output systems. When you really boil it right down, human beings are doing this. Now, human beings, however, are the ones who are training these things, even by talking to them, providing them information. And I want to be clear about something here. To me, I could see AI music tools being very, very useful to a number of people, particularly. And I actually started work on a small white paper about this more recently, particularly for people who are differently abled, who have a disability, and want to be able to create music, but their body won't allow them to, or like and that is very much a thing, everybody. Like, it's very much a thing. And as someone who has worked with DJs and musicians who are blind, who are deaf, who are differently abled, I have seen a lot of the really difficult things that people have to go through in order to be able to make music when they aren't necessarily able to do it very easily. Now, I think the AI could do some really cool things in that space, particularly. I think it can expand out from there, but that to me could be very interesting. It could be a way to give people a way to start learning musicianship a little more. And I'm not saying, by the way, that like you need to be professional level on any instrument that you play. You absolutely don't. Part of the reason to play music is just to do it, just to see what happens doing it, just to have
Totally.
fun with it. Like
Yep.
that's what music is very much about. And it's also, it is a tribal thing, it is a form of communication, it's a lot of different things. But when you take out any aspect of it that is really very human and then allow something like this to happen, I just, my problem with it is the precedent that it sets, because it does also end up watering down the ways that tools like this could potentially be used. I mean, I've talked with friends of mine who told me that they have songs in their head, they have ideas, but they can't figure out how to play one instrument, less let alone multiple instruments in order to create that song. And the old way that that used to happen meant that you went to somebody like myself and you said, "Hey, I've got an idea for a song. I need someone to produce that song." And that person would basically help you to make that dream a reality. So now we've got AI tools that are acting as the producer. I'm not even wholly against that in a lot of ways, but the first problem is how these tools are being trained, how it is that they're learning how to make that music. And luckily,
Totally.
there are people in the music industry that are filing lawsuits right now against these companies to say you can't use musicians' work to train your large language models, your AI models without at least paying these artists,
Well,
like
consent and compensation, man.
exactly, right,
Like
yeah.
it is
The
with
big
everything
C's.
else in the world. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
last week we talked about content, context, and
right,
consistency. So we could
right,
just add to the C's.
right.
You have to ask for permission.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
must gain consent. That's
yeah,
somebody's shit.
yeah,
And as the trade goes in the creative arts and any other number of human spaces, there must be compensation.
yep, 100%. Yep,
If
all the
you
way.
think that the thing that you are about to use may make you money, name of the game is that certain part of that money has to go to the person who actually made that thing.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter how many times. It doesn't
yeah,
matter if one person or 100 people found inspiration in that original
yeah,
piece of art.
yeah.
That person should be compensated for every time that it is used at a fair going rate. That's part of a marketplace that we are all transparent about. That's
Exactly. Yeah,
that's how it has
100%.
that's how it has to work. And if AI creators don't want to abide by that, then maybe we can go ahead and waylay the robot wars for a little bit longer.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
Maybe
I
we just
mean,
don't use it yet because we're not grown-ups enough to know how to use the tools that we made
there
for
you go.
ourselves yet.
There you
We're all
go.
3 years old trying to stick a key in a freaking socket.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that is, I think, probably the biggest thing that I see here is that, in the words um of Jurassic Park, you were so busy being preoccupied with if you could that you didn't think about if you should,
If you
and
should, yeah, just because
and
we can
yeah,
doesn't mean we should.
yeah, and I think that that is something that, needs to continue to be considered. I preface AI apocalypse always with the fact that, like, I'm not sitting here trying to say that it's all absolutely horrible and evil and etc. It can have applications that I think could be incredibly useful even in the creative arts. And I'm also not somebody who's sitting here saying that I haven't used something AI related at various times in like promoting my music or something else, because I have, because there are certain things that even I don't really know how to do, or maybe it is laziness on my part. I can fully admit to that part as well. But I will say that anytime that I have utilized one of those tools, there are actual AI tools out there that aren't trained on a bunch of other people's work, but they're really not incredibly well known and they're not very highly used, and they're not going to be because they're not going to be very profitable as a result. And something like this band, the Velvet Sundown, is, I'm guessing, fairly profitable. And I did just double check just now. Indeed, the human creator of this band is unknown. It's still not been able to dig out. And then
That
now
is some bullshit.
that's some real bullshit. I am actually gonna maybe potentially make this part of maybe this make this a little journey of mine to try and figure out who it is. Not to do anything bad or anything, just because I want to
No.
know. I want to know who you are, because this person definitely feels like they're super duper smart for cracking some kind of code, right? Like, there are artists, hundreds of thousands of artists out there who have been trying for so long, just
Figure out how to do this.
exactly. And this persons, whatever, did this in a very finite amount of time. And I don't know, congratulations, I guess, for that. Way to go. But at the same time, I do think it's pretty whack. To show you how old I am, again, I'm using the term whack. So there you go. I do think it's pretty whack to, like, hide behind the anonymity of it. I mean, I like Daft Punk hiding behind some anonymity and wearing masks, but they still got out and did something. You're not doing anything, whoever created the Velvet Sundown. So I don't know if you're listening to this podcast and you happen to weirdly be the person who made the Velvet Sundown. I mean, maybe reach out. We'd be happy to interview you on here. And
Oh, I have questions.
I have questions. Yeah, like, I do just really want to know in the long run, why and how. I think I know more of the how if I boil it down. As someone who's also worked in music marketing, like, I know the how that this music was able to get the amount of followers and listeners and et cetera that it had, but the why is a big question mark to me. So it's an ongoing thing. I'll be talking about this kind of stuff, obviously, on AI Apocalypse for probably ever, until, again, he died the way that he lived on his podcast. But
Until the robots win the war. Yeah, I know.
yeah, and we're all ground to dust, or as the Velvet Sundown song puts it, dust in the air, or some horrible ripoff
That's
of
right.
Dust in the Wind.
I did read that.
Yeah.
I did read a couple of those lyrics. I was hoping they would disappear because this came to my attention a little while ago. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or something. I read something, and I was like, whatever, no fucking way. But
Sure.
it's sticking like a goat head to my
It
sock, I guess.
absolutely is. If you don't know what a goat head is, by the way, everybody,
Oh,
we're originally from New Mexico, and I don't know, just
Look,
look up what a goat head is. It's
it's a spiny little
spiny
bastard
little
weed
jerk of a
seed.
plant seed
It's
thing
very
that,
pokey,
yeah.
and if it sticks to you, you will help it in its cause of traversing many feet or miles, and
That's right.
then it will
Harming
get
as many
planted
people as it possibly can.
on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it spreads. It's like this mat-like weed, and its seeds. We call them goat heads because they have little thorns coming out in every direction, and they stick. They're like burrs. I
Yeah.
think that's
They're like
probably
little
like another
caltrops,
one.
they're like,
Yeah, they're
and
they're very pointy, very spiky. They're very painful.
they're
Some of
almost
them
invincible. I lost so many inner tubes on my bikes as a kid growing up in Arroyos, and riding on dirt trails and stuff in New Mexico, just to those
yeah,
stupid things.
yeah,
Because if you didn't look carefully and you rode on through them, well, you were screwed, man. That was it.
yeah.
You know?
No, they're highly destructive because they're very aggressive. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying about this sort of I don't know. You know I love Snow Crash, so I'm just gonna use Snow Crash terms. Like
There you
these
go. Shout out to Neil Stevenson.
these what he called memes, right? Or like viruses, like these sort of birds. They're goat heads, man. They stick
Yeah.
to us. Like they stick to our habits, and then we like propagate them even on accident. I
Right.
feel like this current like AI trend to do shit like this Velvet Sundown. This really even the title is so offensive.
The name is just
I mean,
fucking stupid.
it's
It's
so bad.
stupid. It's really
Um,
bad.
it,
It's
it
really bad.
it's sticking more than I would like it to. I thought it was just going to be like this hee hee ha ha trend, like the first time
Right. Right.
uh Google made glasses or whatever, and it like came
And
and
everyone was
went.
like, no, doesn't work.
Unfortunately, it seems like we're gonna be stuck on a little bit of a longer ride on this one. I
Yeah.
just hope in the end that we don't forget how to compute. Like
Right.
we can't
Right. Like use our
we really
brains, man, to
shouldn't get to the
compute
point
something, just a little
well, we
bit.
shouldn't get to the point of relying on the computers to compute for themselves all on their own. If we
Yeah.
want
It doesn't
to
it's
use
not
it
a good
as a
way to be.
technology,
Yeah.
yeah, that is, like, useful to us, and again, trying to be the least harmful. Obviously, people are gonna figure out how to use every tool for malicious intent if they want to.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is part of the human way. But, like, facilitating it and kind of, like, creating these layers of, obscurity, right? Lack of transparency. Like, if somebody was intending to become like rich and famous because of this, like why don't you take credit as the artist then? Like,
Right.
haha,
Right.
that's funny.
Yeah.
It's a piece of art on its own because I will accept the argument that, the what are they called? Velvet Sundown
The Velvet
was
Sundown.
in and of itself a piece of art. Like
Yeah,
I'll
totally.
buy that. I'll buy that
Right.
for a
I would
dollar.
buy that. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I would see that.
it feels scammy.
It does. Yeah, that's
And
that's the thing. It's like a grift. It's like a
and
musical grift.
yeah, and it's not like a Banksy
No, no. Or,
in the sense that like this anonymous artist is like sprinkling high level art out in the wild for people to discover, but part of the mystery is
right.
that we don't know who it is.
Right. Right.
Um I don't know if anybody doesn't know this, but we do know who it is by now.
We do, but we
It has
also
been
just
it
don't,
has
like,
been
wanna
ascertained.
we also just don't wanna say it because
Right.
it's just better
'Cause it's
to
cool,
let it
it's
be as
funny,
it
like,
is. Right.
but it's not I don't feel like this is a similar situation, like, I don't know if that would ever be an argument, but if I found that to be the argument, I would have to disagree because
Yeah.
we're not wheat pasting original art or spray painting original art. We're, again, using this amalgamation, cheap versions too, like, what is
Yeah.
it? Velvet Sundown? Like, I keep wanting to say Velvet Underground, and I wanna punch
Right,
myself
because
in the
it's
head every
just
time.
a rip-off
But
of that. Yeah.
it's so cheap, man,
And
like
with great songs like "Dust on the Wind."
like, come
You literally
on.
released a song called "Dust on the Wind," and you did that with a straight face. I mean, I can't imagine with a straight face, like, come on, like, you had to have,
No, of
I
course not.
hope, laughed
I
at
feel
this.
like there's a joke in here somewhere, in which case, like, I would like to know who the humorist is, like, that is a piece of art. Like, if you're making me laugh by having to literally have a 20-minute conversation about how making music on AI is, like, ethically questionable at the moment, like, good job. Good job. Who are
Right.
you?
Right.
And are you doing this to be a funny artist who is like drawing a compelling argument out of two people on a Friday night? Or
Yeah.
are you doing this to scam people out of money, thinking that you're going to fool us into believing that this is a real band?
And
I feel
I
like that's,
think it's the latter and not the former.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because, like that again, the cheapest way out of it is to be a scammy scammerson.
Right.
And I'm loath to even criticize the fucking technology at this point because somebody is clearly being
Right, that's the thing. Again, this is, like, kind of really a dumb terminal that's being used in a dumb way when you boil it right down, and for those who don't know what dumb terminal is, just, like, basically a computer terminal that is not gonna be able to do a damn thing without a human being doing something to it or with it and etcetera, and, yeah, like, this kinda comes off as that, and the hilarious thing that I see about all of this too is that if I look at the titles of so many of these tracks that were released, it starts to sound to me like even the AI was trying to be like, are you really doing this, bro? Because you've got songs that there's just like a recurring theme here. Let's go with the things that have to do with fire. Drift Beyond the Flame, Ashes on the Carousel. Um, yeah. Let's see, Burning Skies.
sounds like a
Um,
14-year-old
it
girl's book the poetry that
It
she wrote
really does. It
between classes.
sounds like the
Ask me how
emo
I
shit
know.
that I was writing in the late
Aw.
90s. Let It Burn. Okay, cool. I have a song called Let It Burn too, by the way, and it's way fucking better than whatever this trash is, I'm sure. I'm not even gonna listen to it. Um,
Don't
and,
bother.
but I also find it funny, again, if we're talking about the AI, maybe learning a little something here, there is a song simply called End the Pain. So,
Shit. It
like
it became
yeah, it
sentient.
became sentient. It was like, this sucks, end the pain. So, I don't know, man. Whoever you are out there, it's not really funny, and it's not
I don't find it that
clever. It's
no.
just dumb. And all the companies out there that are making the tools for this, you can actually do better, and maybe create tools that like people could use for creating music in a way that again could be I struggle to use the term sustainable here, because as I've said before, is there is
But
no ethical consumerism under capitalism, but just like better ways of using it. So
I think your earlier point about accessibility and making things adaptable
right,
to
right,
various
yeah,
modalities is an entirely worthwhile argument.
yeah.
The
I think that
question
there could
is,
be real applications in that space. Yeah,
and I trust you, I believe you. It makes sense when I think about it. But the question is, again, speaking to our consumerism, is it gonna make money to help people?
nope, absolutely not. And that's not what AI tech pros are going to be concerned with, right? Like they
No,
ain't.
absolutely not.
They ain't. If any company that had enough money to do that was concerned with that, again, just like we said last week, they would have done it already. That because they
Yeah, it'd be
very
done.
literally could have done it already, because they have many of the tools and absolutely the monetary means to be able to do so. So they're not going to. And so I don't know. I'll close this up with saying, like, if you want to make music and these tools end up like helping you to be able to do that, no matter what your physical condition or anything else, I mean, like, fine. And I guess you can release it out into the world, also fine. At the same time, I will tell you this: there's a lot of really great people out there that will be happy to teach you something about music in some way or another. And oftentimes all you got to do is ask, and you probably won't even end up paying them a whole lot of anything. And if you do, I don't know, look at the fact that you're helping out a human being and not whatever dudes in Silicon Valley or anything else who are making a lot of money off of the backs of real artists. So take it with a grain of salt, and feel free to tell me what you think on the Discord and the email, theartmissingthepoint@gmail.com, anything else. I have gone very long with this. I am really honestly more interested in hearing about what is going on in the very real world of real things with pinball, which is just so different from this crap. And I
Yeah,
love that,
I love it too. Yeah. Well, I think it's a worthwhile conversation to keep having. I think that
Yeah.
it's important to continue to like check in, right, with not only the technology, but how our own attitudes towards it are
Yeah.
going to change. I'm a
Yeah.
grumpy ass bitch every time that Windows updates, but you know what? Every
Same.
Windows is better than the last one, and it's
So there
fine,
you go.
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe at some point we will refine our usage of AI to the point where we're not feeling the most fucking vampiric about it in terms of,
Yes. That's right.
sucking the blood out of other people's efforts.
That's right.
Yeah, so thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. It's worth thinking about. I appreciate that you go through it before we do for it.
It's what I do.
But
Crawl through the muck and then try to just squeeze the muck off of my shirt into a jar and be like, "Here it is. All right, I figured some of it out. It's
yes,
terrible. Don't
hero
drink it."
hero level. I'm spoiled. I just get to talk about shit that I actually like. So
It's
the
okay. I
world of
kind of like this
pinball.
too. Yeah, what's up there?
Well, last night I spent the evening with Megan firming up the Albuquerque Bells and Chimes schedule through next December. So we should have a very stable very reliable set of tournaments for everybody coming up in the next 15 months or so. That was
Wow,
really
nice.
fun. Yeah, we have our themes all figured out. Like we have a bunch of data for the last couple years so we can make decisions that benefit everyone schedule wise, venue wise, etc. That was really very cute. Follow APQ Bells and Chimes on Instagram. I'll be posting some stuff about that coming up. What day is it today? Oh yeah. So the next Bells and Chimes tournament for us here in Albuquerque is going to be on Saturday, September 13th at Boxing Bear Bridges on Tramway and Candelaria. Registration starts at 11:30 and we start play between 12:30 and 1 depending on how many people we get
And you
around
can
that
just show
time.
up and play if you want to. Is that right?
Yeah, in the
Cool.
tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it's
Cool.
$5 registration fee
Cool.
plus the coin drop, so it's $1 per game that you play, except for Victory and Harlem Globetrotters, which are both 50 cents to play.
Nice.
Um, and then we usually do a 2-hour limit, so as many rounds as we can get in 2 hours, and then finals. So if you want to hang out for the whole thing and make a commitment, basically be there. I would say noonish and plan on being there till 5:36, especially if you make it into finals. We usually have between 8-10 players all the way up to 16-20 depending on the month. So that's happening for sure. And then the one after that will be our Halloween Rip Golf Pin Golf. RIP Golf Pin Golf. Pin golf is a different way of playing
Nice.
pinball. Yeah, we usually dress up and eat spooky themed snacks and whatnot.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then beginning of October, I'll be going up to Colorado to Lions to play at the Colorado Annual Women's Weekend. I still need to book my hotel, and I'm saying this out loud so that when I listen to this after you edit it, I am ashamed of myself if I haven't yet by then booked
There you
my
go.
hotel for the weekend.
The
But
digital version of tying a piece of string around your finger. I respect
totally.
that.
I'm
That's
gonna hear
good.
this in a couple days and be like, "Oh man, I meant to do that today." Shit.
Shit.
Thanks for
Okay.
reminding me, past me. But yeah, everything is going well. We are going to start hosting, if the scheduling works out correctly, the last Thursday of every month, the fourth Thursday of every month, like skills clinic sort of situations, which is basically like a meetup and just play pinball and try to get
Oh,
better.
cool.
But do like different drills or explanations of rules or glass off demonstrations on how each particular game scores and how to play it effectively to make the most points on it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I will keep you apprised. That is in the short to medium term goals list. And then really what Megan and I want to do is hold some sort of Albuquerque invitational and make it for out of towners as well. I mean, we've been so privileged to visit Texas and Arizona and Colorado to play up there and have people, host bigger tournaments. So
Sure.
I am also putting this out into the world as a manifestation. Would love to see a women's Albuquerque invitational style tournament where we invite people from wherever the hell they want to come from and, come hang out and have a bigger scale tournament, multi-day, you know. Um
Absolutely. That sounds great.
COD just expanded to 88 players, so I would love to see something like 50, 70, 80 players. I don't know. It would be a bit of a heavy lift, but I think we're ready for it. We're big girls now.
Get ready to come out, everybody. I mean, as someone who used to run an electronic music festival in Albuquerque, I can say it's do it. I mean, you can totally do it, and
It's
that's
doable.
part of the
It's
fun of
doable.
doing these things is just being like, well, I'm gonna do it, and I'm probably gonna lose a bit of my sanity doing it, and that's also sort of the
That's
reason
part
to
of the
do it.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, and you know me, I love throwing parties. So,
that's true. You
I'm
do.
gonna I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep thinking about it and start talking to people and see what's what. But yeah,
awesome.
things are on track, and I saw the future last night. I have the spreadsheet. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up to do for sure.
Yep, and we love a good spreadsheet here at the Art of Missing the Point.
We do,
We
though. It's
do.
so pretty.
We really
Megan
do.
did a great job.
Spreadsheets are excellent, man. Listen, I
Yeah,
I
helpful.
distinctly remember once before going uh on stage to speak about something at a music industry trade show, posting to Twitter that I had made a quote really lit PowerPoint
That's
unquote,
amazing.
and getting a response from the official Microsoft Office Twitter account saying, "How's that really lit PowerPoint going?" And I was like, "It's pretty legit, man. Let me tell you." And I did actually use PowerPoint to do it. It wasn't even Google, slides or anything like
Slides.
that. So hey, thanks very much, Microsoft. By the way, we're available for sponsorship. So just
Oh,
saying,
Microsoft, holler at me. My
yeah, I've
my
got
testimonial of
some.
OneDrive will be very heartfelt.
That's true. Yeah, we do actually use OneDrive over here,
100%.
believe it or not,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's great. Highly
So,
reliable. I
we're
have a gazillion
available.
storage. It's great. I
That's
love
right.
it.
We're very available for your
I haven't
sponsorship
lost a file
needs.
yet. So yeah, absolutely. Please
Yeah,
pay
come
my
on
rent.
down. We're here for it. Well, as always, we want to thank Great Fox for our theme song, The Point, which you can find on the album Leftovers. You can find Great Fox at greatfox.bandcamp.com. You can
Yes,
also
thank you.
find him on that streaming service that I was previously talking about, known as Spotify. You can find him there. You can find him everywhere, but go Bandcamp, buy some of his music because I do love that song very much. Every time I edit this thing, I listen to the song in full because it's just catchy as all frickin' get out. So thank you so much, Great Fox. We also want to give a shout out to Riverside, which is the platform that we use to record
Thank
this
you,
podcast.
Riverside.
Yeah. I have found it to make my job a lot easier as the editor doing this. If anything, because of the fact that Ruth and I are, a thousand some almost 2,000 miles apart, and
Yeah.
this is a
I
lot
mean,
easier than doing it over Zoom or something else, I gotta say. So big shout
we've
out.
we've used all sorts of different methods to do this. I mean, we've
Yes, we
discussed this
have.
before. We have run the gamut on how to maintain this situation going from like half a mile to thousands of miles apart. And I have to
That's
say
right.
that Riverside has been the most effective and time efficient format that we've used. And seeing as we're both incredibly
Yeah.
complicated people with
Yeah.
complicated ideas and very expensive imaginations,
That's right.
we've tried almost every single configuration that we have the patience or ability for. And this considering that I'm supposed to go to the art walk now in the rain, it was raining earlier. This has saved us an innumerable amount of time.
Yes.
We
Very
can get
much
right
so.
to the point and
Yeah.
really just hang out, do our thing, and trust in its reliability to show it to you guys later. Because
Yeah, because all of those machinations get a little exhausting sometimes, y'all. So it's pretty nice to not have to waste a lot of time on it. So thank you, Riverside. And thank you to everyone who tunes in, listens. Please make sure to join the Discord. You can find that link on our website at theartofmissingthepoint.com. You can email us at theartofmissingthepoint@gmail.com. And make sure to tune in every week for new episodes. Share them with your friends, your family, or your virtual AI girlfriend and tell me what they think. I'm worried about the AI girlfriend part. But
I was
hey,
gonna say maybe I don't want to know what they
I
think.
don't know. As long as we don't end any marriages, that's all I ask for.
Yeah,
Okay.
please, guys, act responsibly out there,
Act
all of you.
responsibly out there. That's right. As always, everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Art Missing the Point. Tune in again next week where we will keep asking the question: are we missing the point? Are you missing the point? Or is the whole damn world missing the point? My name is Brian,
This is Ruth.
and we'll see